Hey, good morning, all of you. So, in the previous class, we introduced that means we discussed about force between two conductors, right? That means current carrying conductors which are placed parallel to each other. And we discussed some points regarding that. And now let us see some problems based on that here in today's class. So, the first let us consider this case here. So, in the previous class, I think at the ending we discussed about this point here. This is a current carrying conductor carrying say some current I1. Now this another current carrying conductor is placed above this, and we discuss like what should be the direction of the current if it remains in equilibrium, and we discuss like that, right? And so now here we know that current must be in opposite direction here, so that this I2 current is there in opposite direction, so that it will be there. That means both will balance here. The repulsive force and mg will balance with each other. So here this distance I am taking it as d. So next, that means write that problem there. A long current carrying conductor is fixed between two rigid supports. A long current carrying conductor is fixed horizontally between two supports as shown. Another current carrying conductor is placed above it. At a distance d, placed above it parallelly at a distance d. This wire remains in equilibrium. If this wire is slightly displaced by a distance y, downwards, and in brackets write that y is very much less than that of d, that means by a very small distance d, and then released. Then find time period of oscillation of this wire. Lambda is the linear mass density. Of this wire, right? So is it clear? Initially that is an equilibrium here, and we discussed already that when it is an equilibrium, F is equal to mg, that should be balanced there. Now from that equilibrium position we are displacing it slightly in downward direction, and then we are releasing it. So that now let us see what will happen here. So then initially then what we can write here is in equilibrium, that F is equal to mg you can write, because F will be there in upward direction and mg will be there in downward direction, right? And so where that F is given by, what we can write is mu naught I1 I2 by 2 pi d into L. This is equal to m into g. Let's suppose this is our equation 1. So now let us consider the case once that wire is displaced by a distance some y. So that means now I am assuming that this wire is displaced until here, right? So that this distance we are taking it as y, and that y is very small, that is mentioned there, so that we can use that approximation if it is required, approximation. So then here once this wire is displaced here, so this force F dash will be there along this direction and mg will be there along this direction. And so now as the separation between those two wires is decreasing, then this upward force, that means this magnetic force will increase here. So you can observe that this magnetic force is inversely proportional to d. So as we are depressing it slightly by a distance y, then this magnetic force will increases. So if you are releasing from this position, now F dash is greater than that of mg, so that wire starts accelerating in upward direction there. So once it reaches to this initial position, then again the net force will be 0, but it is having some velocity. So that it will crosses that point there, it will crosses that equilibrium position and it will rise above that. Once it is moving above that, as the separation is greater than d, then this force will be less than mg, you will get that magnetic force will be less than mg. So that once if it is above this position, then mg will become greater than that of that magnetic force, and so that wire starts decelerating and it will come to the rest at some point, then again starts moving downwards, so that that will execute that harmonic, that means oscillatory motion there. And if this y is very small, then you can conclude that that motion will be a simple harmonic motion. That means we can prove that that has a simple harmonic motion. If this condition is not given, just you can say that it is an oscillatory motion. If y is very small when compared to that of d, then you can conclude that it executes the SHM. And so now here, now I am taking that condition there. If wire is displaced by a distance y, then net force equation I am writing here. So just that net force is equal to, what we can write is f dash minus mg, you can write. So that f dash is nothing but m into a. So this is f net is equal to, and this value you can write this as same mu naught into I1 I2 by 2 pi. Now this distance is d minus y into L minus mg. Is it clear? So now we need to simplify this equation here. So for this simplification, I can use like approximation here. So for this, let us take this mu naught I1 I2 by 2 pi d I am taking here, so that you will get 1 minus y by d into L minus mg. Right? So just I am taking the d term common there. Now let us write this term in numerator. So that this is MA is equal to mu naught I1 I2 into L by 2 pi d into 1 plus y by d I am writing here. I think all of you know this approximation. Whole power minus 1 you will get. That we are writing by using binomial approximation. We are taking it as minus into, that means minus 1 you will get here, so that it is plus it will be. So minus mg. And so then this can be further, we can write this as MA is equal to mu naught I1 I2 into L by 2 pi d plus mu naught I1 I2 into L by 2 pi d into y by d minus mg. Right? So just we multiplied that. And now you can observe that from equation 1, you can simplify that term now, that equation now. So observe this equation here. Mu naught I1 I2 by 2 pi d into L is nothing but our mg. So this is nothing but our first term here, which is equal to mg. And minus mg is there. So right. So then, so that you can cancel this term here. You can cancel that both the terms because both are equal. So and this equation also you can write this as MA is equal to mg into y by d. And actually while writing that restoring force here, just I mentioned it as a net force here. So instead of that, in SHM generally we mention it as a restoring force. So restoring force means then it should be negative, we need to consider here. So let us take this as a restoring force here. Then directly you can say about this SHM here. Restoring force means, that means directly we are concluding that here. That means then here minus of you need to consider for in every step. So that this is minus of, this is also minus of. So that here this minus you will get here. So that you can conclude that as an SHM. And so now here this value is mu naught I1 I2 into L by 2 pi d. This is nothing but our mg value. So this again I am writing it as mg into this y by d will be there. And now you can cancel again this m and m here. So that this acceleration A is equal to minus g by d into y. Now compare with our equation of SHM here. Compare with equation of SHM. So the equation of SHM is nothing but A is equal to minus omega square y you can write. And therefore this y omega is equal to under root of g by d. and therefore time period, now you can write this as, I will write here, the time period is nothing but 2 pi by omega, therefore this is 2 pi into under root of d by g you can write. So that means here simply you can observe that in this problem, if whenever such a problem is there, it is now similar to that of our length of the simple pendulum. That means time period of the simple pendulum, 2 pi into under root of L by G. So here just you need to write this D value. So now you can observe that this value is independent of this I1, I2 or that mass of this wire. It only depends on this distance between them here. So that this Y is very small when compared to that of D. So under that condition. So if once that condition is satisfied, then you can say that it will execute the simple harmonic motion. If this condition is not there, just you need to say it as an oscillatory motion. And so next let us see one more model problem will be there based on this SHM here. So just let us see that problem. So just I will that means there 3 wires will be placed parallel to each other. So like I am taking this 3 wires will be there placed parallel to each other here. So let us consider all the 3 wires are carrying the same amount of current in the same direction. And suppose say this is along our y-axis here, this is our direction of the y-axis and this is our x-axis. So that this corresponds to x is equal to plus a and this corresponds to x is equal to minus a. So that this is the origin here. This point is origin and it is lying in xy plane we are taking there. Right? And so now here generally they may ask like the points where the magnetic field becomes zero, that one question will be there. And the next question will be there like if it is the middle wire is displaced like by a small distance along the z axis and then released, then what will be the time period of oscillation of the system they will ask. Is it clear? So initially they are lying in xy plane. So I am displacing this wire, middle wire by a distance of z, small distance z along this direction, and so that we need to find this time period of oscillation of that system there. So now first write that problem. 3 long current carrying wires, 3 identical long current carrying wires carrying current I each are placed parallel to each other as shown. That means that x is equal to a and minus a, that information is there and one will coincide with that y axis there, that is shown in the diagram. Find where the resultant magnetic field is 0. Find the locus of points where the resultant magnetic field is 0. That is one question, A, let it be A. And the next question B is, if the middle wire is displaced, along z axis by a small distance z, in bracket let us write this, z is very much less than that of a, by a small distance z and released. Then find time period of oscillation of this wire. Remaining 2 wires are fixed and lambda is the mass per unit length of this each wire. That means mention that also, remaining 2 wires are fixed, lambda is the mass per unit length of each wire. And so just you may consider about the neutral points, that means the zero magnetic field means. So if you are taking any point this side or any point this side, now you can conclude that magnetic field due to all the wires will be in same direction, because all the current carrying wires, that means all the current in the each wire is in the same direction. Suppose if I consider a point here, the magnetic field due to this will be inverse, magnetic field due to this will be inverse, and magnetic field due to this also inverse. So that means there is no chance of getting the neutral point here, right? And now similarly this side also the same reason, the magnetic field will be out of the plane, you will get there. Suppose that means I am taking this as a region 1, and this is say region 2, and this is region 3, and this is a region 4 I am taking here. So that means in 1 and 4 there is no chance of getting this neutral point here. So that means here this B is not equal to 0 in this region, you can conclude, and here also B is not equal to 0, you can conclude there, because all the three conductors are producing the magnetic field in the same direction. So now if you are taking in the region 2 or 3, the magnetic fields you will get in opposite directions there. So suppose in the region 2 if I check, the magnetic field due to this wire will be, let us say this is the first wire here, and this is the second wire, and this is the third wire I am taking here. So the magnetic field due to this first wire will be inwards, and the magnetic field due to these two wires will be out of the plane, you will get. And now similarly if you are taking in this region, in the region 3, so that means now magnetic field due to this wire will be inwards, and magnetic field due to this wire also inwards, and magnetic field due to this wire will be out of the plane. So that means in region 2 and region 3 there is a chance of getting that neutral point there, right? So that means now we need to check that at how much distance or at where is that location of that neutral point. Now suppose I am taking that this distance is x from this here. At a point P, let us consider that is the neutral point we are assuming. At a distance free x from this middle wire, we are assuming that neutral point is there. And so that what we can write is the magnetic field at point P is B1 bar plus B2 bar plus B3 bar. So this value should be equal to 0. That is our condition for getting the neutral point. So now these two fields will be inward, so let us take them as positive, and then this will be out of the plane, you may take that as a negative. That is our choice there. Whether you may take inwards as positive or outwards as positive, that is completely your choice. So if one is taken as positive, then automatically the other will be negative. And so now here just I am writing the magnetic field due to this first wire here. The magnetic field due to this first wire is mu naught I by 2 pi into the distance of this point from this wire here. This is already A. Distance we need to write, so we should not consider minus A we need to consider A plus X. So this is A plus X plus mu naught I by 2 pi X. So for this wire it is X only, so both are in the same direction, that we are taking as positive, and minus, so this will be mu naught I by, so this distance will be A minus X, you can write here. So A minus X is equal to 0. Is it clear? Now we can simplify this. This value will be like 1 by A plus X plus 1 by X minus 1 by A minus X is equal to 0. So you may take LCM and simplify this equation there. So if you are taking this LCM, so A minus X into X plus A plus X into A minus X minus A plus X into X. This value is equal to 0. And in denominator you can cross multiply that, you will get that value as 0. So let's simplify this equation here. Ax minus x square plus a square minus x square minus ax minus x square is equal to 0. So here we can simplify like this is minus plus ax and minus ax term will be cancelled. So this is a square minus 3x square is equal to 0, or x square is equal to a by 3, a square by 3, x is equal to plus or minus a by root 3. So that means x is equal to plus or minus a by root 3 means at a distance of a by root 3 on the positive side and on the negative side, then you will get the neutral points here. So in that regions, both the regions, the neutral points are possible for that case there. That means now this side plus a by 3. So plus a by 3, here you will get this neutral point here. and the other side, this side also you will get this minus a by 3, a by root 3 means this point here, let it be suppose say point Q. So that means in those regions then you will get this neutral points there. That is the conclusion from this, right? So now our next question is we are displacing this wire by a small distance here. We are displacing it by a small distance along this z axis, and then we need to write this force equations there. Now I will reverse this diagram here. That means just in this plane now diagram is there. Now I am taking this plane here. Just let us turn this plane like this. So then you can easily calculate the net force, resulting force there. So now I will rub this and I will do that force calculation here. I will draw this diagram here. That means here this one wire will be there and here another wire will be there. And suppose say this is our z axis we are taking here. So this is another wire here. We are placing this another wire here. So this distance is A, and so this distance is also A, and this distance we are taking as Z. So this into the plane indicates that all the three wires are carrying that current into the plane. That is the direction of this current here. So now all the currents are same here, that I, and here also this current is also I, and this is also I will be there. And so now we need to write this force here, the magnetic force we need to write. So now still these two wires are parallel only, right? So these two wires are parallel in this plane. Similarly, these two wires are parallel in this plane. So just still directly we can apply this force between two parallel conductors formula. Now both the conductors are carrying the current in same direction. Both the conductors are carrying the current in same direction. So there, so that the force will be, attractive force will be there. And so that means now this one, let us take this as F1 here along this direction. This force is F1, and along this direction this force will be F2 will be there here. So right. So F1 and F2. Is it clear? Still the conductors are parallel even if you are displacing this wire by a small distance here. Now these two wires in this plane, in this inclined plane, these two wires will be still parallel to each other only. And so that the between force between two parallel conductors directly we can apply them. And so that I can write this expression as the force between them, we can write this as F1 is equal to F2 is equal to mu naught I1 I2, that means I into I by 2 pi d. Now the d is nothing but this distance you need to write here. So that is under root of a square plus z square into L, the length of this wire. And so now we need to write this restoring force here. So the restoring force equation now we need to write for that case. So just you may resolve that into components so that you can easily identify that horizontal component will be cancelled there. So if you are taking this angle as theta and this angle as theta, then the horizontal component will be cancelled. So the restoring force will be downwards will be there. Therefore I am writing this restoring force. So F restoring is equal to minus 2F cos theta you can write here, or 2F1 cos theta. Because F1 and F2 both are same here, or actually you can write this as minus of F1 cos theta plus F2 cos theta you need to write. So this restoring force you may write this as MA. So this is minus 2F1 cos theta. MA is equal to minus and already there A is there, A we are taking as distance, so I am taking this acceleration as A dash here, A prime, and so that there won't be any confusion between the distance and this acceleration. And so now this value will be mu naught I1 I2, that means I square by 2 pi into under root of A square plus X square, sorry Z square into L into cos theta. Now we need to write. So the cos theta term is nothing but Z by under root of A square plus Z square you can write. And therefore this is MA dash is equal to minus this 2 you can cancel there. So mu naught I square into L by pi into A square plus Z square into Z. And now here our approximation now we need to use here. Our approximation is this A is very small when compared to this Z. And so now you can neglect this Z square value when compared to that of A square here. So you can neglect that Z square term there. And so that what we can write here is A dash is equal to, and this also you can write this as lambda into L here, this mass term, minus mu naught into I square into L into Z by pi A square you can write. So Z value, Z square value I am neglecting here. Z square value is very small when compared to that of A. So that I am writing it as A square. So now from this that L also will be cancelled. So A dash is equal to minus mu naught into I square by pi into lambda into A square into Z. So now compare with our equation of SHM here. Compare with A dash is equal to minus omega square Z. The displacement you may write it as X, Y or Z. So then now therefore that omega value you can write here. Therefore that omega is equal to under root of mu naught into, so that omega value you can write that as mu naught into I square by pi into lambda into A square. And therefore from this the time period you can write as t is equal to 2 pi by omega, the time period. So therefore it is 2 pi into under root of pi lambda A square by mu naught into I square. Lambda is a mass per unit length, and then this A is the separation between those two wires, right? So that will be the time period of this oscillation of this wire in that case. And so now similar to this, actually this type of another problem you will get just by with the knowledge of this you can solve this. Like that problem is, that means the similar arrangement. That problem is nothing but here these two wires will be there which are placed horizontally on a horizontal surface. Those two wires are fixed there. And so now this wire is carrying some current in opposite direction here. So this wire will carry some opposite direction, and this wire will remains in air, that will balance it there. So then you need to find that mass of the wire or current in that wire you need to calculate there, or linear density. So just mention that problem and solve that. Just to take the same force equation and components and balance there. So just mention that problem. Two wires are placed horizontally. Two wires are placed horizontally. Parallel to each other. Parallel to each other. At separation A. At separation A. These two wires carries the current. These two wires carries the current, same current I. These two wires carries the same current I in the same direction. These two wires are fixed on the horizontal surface. These two wires are fixed on the horizontal surface. Another wire placed parallel to these two wires, placed parallel to these two wires, at a separation of A from the each wire, at a separation of A from the each wire. This wire carries the same amount of current but in opposite direction. This wire carries the same amount of current but in opposite direction. If this wire remains in equilibrium, if this wire remains in equilibrium, then find the linear mass density of this wire, the linear mass density of this wire, right? So that will be the diagram here. Here actually this two wires are there here. these two wires are carrying the current into the plane here. Now the third wire is placed like this. It is placed at a distance of a from each wire, means those three wires will form a triangular there. That means if you are observing in a plane, those three wires will form a triangle. That means if we join those three wires there. So such an arrangement is there. So like similar to our problem here, what we can conclude is these two wires are parallel to each other and they are carrying current in opposite direction. So the force acting on this will be repulsive, that will be there along this direction. Similarly, between these two wires also it will be repulsive. This is along this direction. And so now the net force will be like 2F1 cos theta will be there along this direction. That should balance by this weight of this wire. So just to balance those two forces, then you will get that lambda value, the linear mass density of this wire. So that means then that is nothing but actually such a suspension is nothing but we call magnetic elevation. When the that means that when an object is suspended by using some magnetic field without any support, then it is said to be the magnetic elevation. And actually that principle now it is used in this super fast trains. So that means if you are observing that super fast trains, they are not in contact with the surface there, they will remain in air, so that the friction will be reduced and they are able to attain such a high speeds there. So that is nothing but magnetic elevation principle. Just means just by balancing magnetic field, by applying certain magnetic field, we can make the objects remain suspended in air. And so now let us take this another problems here based on this force concept. I will take a problem like so until now we are taking this wires are parallel to each other. Now I am taking that if wires are not parallel to each other, let us take this wire is placed perpendicular to each other here. So now I am taking a wire like this. This is starting this distance is A and length of this wire is B. Let us consider it is carrying some current I here or I1 and this carries some current I2. Now we need to calculate force acting on this. Write that problem. A current carrying wire carrying some current I2 and length B is placed perpendicular to a long current carrying conductor is placed perpendicular to a long current carrying conductor as shown in figure. Then find force acting on this. Find force acting on this wire. If this wire is free to move, then which type of motion it can execute? That means whether it is if it is this wire is free to move, whether it is moves translationally or rotationally or oscillational. So like that we need to answer that. So now if the wire is parallel to each other, if we applied some formula there, that means by applying directly formula we can calculate that magnetic force. So now if the wires are perpendicular to each other like this, then you can't apply that formula directly there. Then what we should do here is we need to take a small element here, because the magnetic field is varying on this wire here, on this wire of length B, the same amount of magnetic field is not acting here. The different magnetic field will act because the distance from this wire is changing here. And so that we need to take a small element here. So here I am taking a small element here, say at a distance of x from this, and this width is dx. So now let us write the force acting on that small element here, and let us identify the direction of that force also. To get the direction of force, first we need to write the magnetic field here. So this wire will produce a magnetic field into the plane, right? So this will produce a magnetic field into the plane here. Now the direction of this current. So current is along this direction and field is current is along this direction and field is into the plane. Field is into the plane, current is along this direction. So force you will get here upwards. So the force acting on this element will be dF in upward direction. So now let us write the magnetic field expression first. So the magnetic field at that point we can write as mu naught I by or I1 by 2 pi x, because it's an infinitely long. This wire is infinite, but this is a finite. And so now here next what we can write is force acting on small element. Force acting on small element you can write as dF is equal to B into I into, that means I2 into dl, that means dx sin 90, that means BAL sin theta formula we are writing here. The angle between B bar and this L bar will be perpendicular here, both are perpendicular, so 90 degrees we are writing there. Therefore from this that dF is equal to B is mu naught I1 by 2 pi x into this is I2 into dx. So to get the total force we need to integrate this value here, mu naught I1 I2 by 2 pi into integral of dx by x. Now can you see the limits for this x here? X varies from, that means this end to this end. So when you are at this end, then x is equal to a you will get, or when you are at this end, then a plus a you will get. So that means this is a and this is a plus b, and so therefore this force what we can write here is mu naught I1 I2 by 2 pi into ln a plus b by a you can write. So that is a magnetic force here. The magnetic force acting on this wire of finite length will be given by this expression. And so next here the another question is there, like if they are that means if it is free to move, then what type of force does it executes? So then for this, if you are that means the net force acting on the wire will be there in upward direction, so it will move in upward direction there. That means translational motion will be there. That is clear for us. And now here another type of motion means what? Another type of motion, is there any possibility for this other type of motion means? Now observe that the force acting on the different elements will be different. The force acting on these different elements if you are taking here, that will be different in magnitude. And so now which that means if you are moving from this end to this end, so then which force, where the force will be maximum here? That means here the force will be there. Let us say this is dF1 and dF2. If you are taking another element there, whether dF1 is greater or dF2 is greater. So clearly you can say that here magnetic field is strong when compared to that. So here magnetic field is strong means then strong force will be there here. And so that then this force will be there here. That means dF1 is greater than that of dF2 you can write. Right? To answer about this which type of motion it will execute. So that means now in addition to that moving, so it should also rotate here. That means this end of the wire is experiencing some larger force when compared to that of this end here. And so that then this wire will travel like this. That means at some instant, that means you will get this position of the wires like this. It will execute the translatory as well as rotatory motion. That means it will also rotate there. So just to mention that the force acting on the different elements will be different. The force acting on the different elements will be different. And you may mention this dF1 and dF2, and you can draw the separate diagram and then mention this dF1 is greater than that of dF2. And so if the wire is free to move, then it executes translatory as well as rotatory motion. Then it will execute translatory as well as rotatory motion. And now let us take such another similar problem here, like when two wires were placed there perpendicular to it. And now let us see this problem here. That means now the problem I am taking here is so here one wire is placed here, so carrying some current into the plane, and symmetrically here another point will be, another conductor is placed here. Now this is a current carrying wire here. So that means here this is a finite length L. So suppose say this is carrying some current I naught, and here this current is I and this current is I here. And you may take like this is a x axis and this is a y axis. And so that means here the coordinates of this wire you can write this as this distance is, you may consider it as a, and this distance is also let it be Is it clear? Now this wire is, suppose I am taking this as this wire is A and this wire is B, and this wire is now placed in this plane here. Is the position is clear? These two wires are placed here along this Z axis, parallel to Z axis, and now this wire is placed along this X axis, and it is a finite length here. This position only, X is equal to L only. And so then force acting on this wire we need to write here. So just mention that two long parallel, that means two long current carrying wires are placed parallel to Z axis at y is equal to A, or you may mention this point, so you can mention this point as 0, A, 0, and this is 0, minus A, 0. Place it, write those 2 points, 0, A, 0 and 0, minus A, 0. Current in each wire is I. Current in each wire is I, flowing in the same direction as shown. Flowing in the same direction as shown. That means into the plane. You can say along negative Z direction. That is, another wire of length L. Another wire of length L is placed along X axis. Is placed along X axis from origin, starting from origin as shown. Current in this wire is I0. Current in this wire is I0. Then find force acting on this wire. Then find force acting on this wire. And also find force acting on the wire if current in the wires A and B is opposite each other. If current in the wires A and B is opposite to each other. That means here in this problem, first problem what we are taking is current in them A and B will be in the same direction, as I said, negative Z direction. Now once if we reverse the direction, if we any one you may consider like into the plane and the other will be out of the plane you may consider, then in that case you need to answer this magnetic field, that means magnetic force here. Now let us see the first given case here. So here again now you can observe that the magnetic field is that will be different along these different points here, that means for different elements. So again you need to consider the small elements only, that is clear. And moreover the magnetic field is changing its direction also. For different elements the direction will also be different. In the previous problem, like in the previous problem only one wire and perpendicular if you are placing, the force will be same. And that means the direction of the magnetic field will be same, but just it is changing its magnitude. Now with the direction of the magnetic field will also changes here. So just I will show this magnitude here. Suppose let us take this small element here. I am taking here a small element here. And so now the magnetic field due to this element, due to this wire for that element we need to write here. So the current is into the plane, right? The current is flowing into the plane. So if you are taking this as a distance, some distance here, this we are taking as at a distance of x from this, and this element is dx here. This small element I am taking it as dx. So here the magnetic field will be perpendicular to this, you will get along this direction. Let it be B1. The magnetic field due to that. Next similarly the magnetic field due to this we need to write here. The magnetic field due to this current, due to this conductor B. And so now it will be perpendicular to this, you will get like this. This is B2. The current is into the plane here. So the magnetic field will be perpendicular to that, you will get. And so now here that is the magnetic field components there, and you can conclude that B1 and B2 are equal in magnitude because this distance is same and this distance is also same, so that you can resolve this into components and you can find this net magnetic field here. Suppose I am taking this angle as theta, so that angle as theta means I can consider here as this makes an angle theta, so this angle I am assuming as theta. So if it is making an angle theta with horizontal, because this dotted line and B1 are perpendicular to each other, so this will make an angle theta with the vertical. Similarly this B2 and this dotted line will be perpendicular to each other, and so that this angle will also be theta. And so now here the net field will be, you can write this as B1 cos theta will be along this direction and B2 cos theta will be along this direction, and the sin theta component will be cancelled. I am not representing that because B1 and B2 are equal in magnitude. So here I can write this magnitudes of those values here, B1 and B2. So I am writing like B1 is equal to B2 is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi r. The 2 pi r is nothing but this distance is x and this is a we are taking. So this distance you need to write here, so that you can write this as a square plus x square. So this will be a square plus x square you need to write. And so then this is our magnetic field here. So the net magnetic field for that small element I am writing here. So the net magnetic field will be, that means 2b1 cos theta you can write. That means b1 cos theta plus b2 cos theta you can write. That is 2b1 cos theta. Let us substitute that cos theta value later. Now the force acting on the small element here. So for small element, so what we can write here is dF is equal to force acting on the small element I am writing now. So the dF is equal to B into, that means that B means 2b1 cos theta. BIL formula we need to write. So here B means this value. I means I naught into DL means DX. And again this value will be sin 90 you will get here, because now you can observe that B is along this direction at field and our DL element is along X direction. So that angle will be 90 degrees. Now substitute this B1 and cos theta expressions there. So 2 into mu naught I by 2 pi into under root of a square plus x square, this is our B value, into cos theta we need to write by using this triangle. So this adjacent side x and this value will be the hypotenuse there. Therefore this is x by under root of a square plus x square into I naught into dx. And so therefore this equation f is equal to, you can write this as mu naught I into I naught by 2 pi is a constant, then integral of this will be x into dx by a square plus x square you can write here, right? So the integration of this term now we need to write here, the integration of this term. So the integration of this term will be in the form of this logarithm, I think you can write here, because sorry, here 2 is not there. Yeah, if you are keeping this 2, then you can do one thing, you can write this 2 here, then our integration will be easy for us. Here I am keeping this 2 here, this 2 I am writing here as a 2x. So now if you are finding the differentiation of this, the differentiation of this function will be equal to 2x. So that is there in the numerator, right? And so then this integration you can write, this limits will be like x varies from 0 to L you can write here. So therefore simply what I can write here is mu naught I into I naught by 2 pi into, this expression will be like ln a square plus x square. I think all of you can understand this integration easily, because in mathematics I hope it is completed. So this is 2 pi into, now we can substitute that limits there, ln a square plus L square by a square. So this will be the force acting on that wire here. So it will be almost similar to that of that, just that a square terms we are getting when compared to that of our previous problems there, right? And so now try to answer this next question here when the current in this is in opposite direction there. So try to answer that. That means the next question is in this, the direction of current, any one of the current is reversed. For example, if current in this wire is reversed here, any one, you may consider either upper wire is reversed or lower wire is reversed. If current in this wire is into the plane, for example here, then it will produce a magnetic field like this. The current is here, so it will produce a magnetic field like this. That means now the case will be, so you will get that case as this is into the plane and this is out of the plane. So here if you are taking this element here, this magnetic field you will get like this. and this magnetic field B2 you will get along this direction here. This is B2 and this is now B1. And so now again let us say it will makes, these two will makes an angle theta and theta with this vertical. If this angle is theta and this angle is theta here, like same, just that B1 direction will be opposite you will get. That is the only thing here. This B1 direction, instead of this, when you are reversing the direction, then B1 direction will also be reversed there. So right, if you reverse that, then what you can observe here is this B1 and B2 are making an angle of theta with this vertical here with the y-axis. So that component will be cancelled. The net field will be along this. The net field is B net for that is 2B1 sine theta along negative x-axis, along minus x-axis. So in this case, if you are reversing it, instead of this, if you are taking this as outwards, then you will get along positive x direction. That is not important whether it is parallel to, that means negative x or positive x. So now it is along x-axis. The magnetic field will be along x-axis. If magnetic field is along x-axis, then force acting on that wire will be 0, because now L bar and B bar are parallel to each other. That means this angle now we need to take this as 0, sine 0, because the DL bar and that B bar, BS to be sine theta terms will be along the same direction there. So that means now in this problem our answer is, if any one of the current is reversed, that means if A and B, current in the wires A and B is in opposite direction, no force acts on this wire. Is it clear? So that is a no force acts on this wire in this case. And such a no force acts on this wire, another question they will ask here. So that question is like this is a wire here, that means this is a ring. Let us say it is current carrying ring, let us consider here. This is carrying some current, say I, and now the another wire is placed along this direction here. Now this carries some current I naught. Now they will ask what is the force acting. That wire is placed along this axis of this ring here. The wire is placed along the axis of the ring. So starting from this origin to some length, let us consider it as some L. Then what is the force acting on this conductor, they will ask. So then there also we know already the magnetic field produced by that ring will be along the x direction. That means along the axis only. So that means here the magnetic field will be along this direction only. That means here also that net force is 0. So same as that of this problem here. So here also force is 0 if you reverse this direction, and in this case also you will get that as 0. Right? And based on this knowledge you can also solve another problem like if I am taking this wire source, that means a loop is placed near this long current carrying wire here. A rectangular loop is placed like this. So this distance is A and this distance is B, let us consider here. Or we may take this as a square loop, or so that this side will also be A, B you may consider there. So this is the situation I am taking here. This is I1 and this is I2. And first of all in this they will ask a theoretical question here. Whether the if suppose this wire is fixed here and this frame is square loop is free to move, whether it moves towards the wire or away from the wire. That is the first theoretical question related to this. So that you should answer by each side of this square here. Suppose I am naming this as A, B, C, D. This is a square frame I am taking here. Now the force between these two wires will be, that means force acting on B direction I am writing here. So everywhere the magnetic field will be into the plane only, because all the conductors are lying this side only. So the magnetic field will be into the plane only you will get here. So that this magnetic field is into the plane. So if magnetic field is into the plane, let us identify the direction of this force here. So that means for this conductor AB, the current is upward, so the force will be towards left. So the force acting on this AB will be along this direction. And next force acting on this BC. Field is into the plane, current is flowing like this. So force acting on this will be BC along this direction here. And next force acting on this. In this current will flow down like this. So now here this force will be along this direction you will get. So force acting on this is CD. Now similarly here the force acting on DA you will get like this. So here the field is inwards and current is flowing this direction. So the force will be along this direction. So force acting on this wire will be dA will be along this direction. Now can you conclude that what is the net force? That means this loop either moves towards this wire or away from the wire. So then it moves towards the wire. These two will be equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. So to calculate the force on this BC, we calculated one of the force, one of the problem, like the before this problem. When wire is placed there and perpendicular to this, a wire of length B is placed. So now this problem is nothing but that only. You can calculate that force. We already calculated that force, so that we need to calculate. Only sometimes they will ask in this loop only force acting on that BC. So you need to calculate like that. So these two will be equal in magnitude or opposite in direction, so they will cancel with each other. Can you say similarly these two are equal and opposite? No, because the magnetic field acting here and magnetic field acting here will be different. So you can say that magnetic field acting here will be larger in magnitude. So that here the force will be larger in magnitude. And so that FAB is greater than that of FCD. So that means here what we can conclude here is FBC is equal to FDA and FAB is greater than that of FCD. That means you may mention this question like I think I didn't mention the data here, just note that data. A square loop of side B is placed parallel to a long current carrying conductor, carrying current I1 as shown, I2 is the current flowing in the square loop as shown. Then find the force acting on the square loop. And also answer whether this force is attractive or repulsive. So now from this here I mentioned all the data here, I explained all the here. So from this you can conclude that FAB is greater than FB means, so the net force will be attractive force here. So therefore this net force is FAB minus FCD we need to write here, and so then this force is attractive. So attractive means then square will be moves towards this wire here. So that for this total explanation is not required for this. Simply you can answer this as the resultant force will depend on the nature of this only. The resultant force acting on the square will depend on the nature of this force acting on the nearest parallel conductor. And so now if this force between these two is attractive, then force acting on the square loop is attractive, you can conclude net force is attractive, nature will be attractive. And if these two are that means if current in these two is in opposite direction, then force between them will be repulsive, you can conclude here. So the square will be repelled from this or it will move away from that wire frame. So just by observing the direction of currents in these two wires, you can decide that nature. If the current in these wires will be is in same direction, the square will be attracted by this wire. If they are in opposite direction, then it will be repelled by this wire. So just by using that you can conclude that. Now here you can substitute these two expressions here easily. So just I can write this as mu naught I1 I2 by 2 pi A into B. So just these two wires are parallel wires. So just I am writing the parallel force between two parallel conductors formed directly. No need of any integration here. Next similarly force acting on this. So that is also parallel there. So it is mu naught I1 I2 by, now the distance will be 2 pi A plus B into B. So just you can simplify and you can that means you can simplify this equation so that you will get that force there. So 2 pi A you will get. So this is 1 by A minus 1 by A plus B. And so this is net force is mu naught I1 I2 into B by 2 pi into, so take LCM here, so you will get like B by A into A plus B, right? So here A plus B and minus A you will get. So that is our force equation what we can write here. So therefore net force is mu naught I1 I2 into B square by 2 pi A into A plus B you can write. So that will be the net force here, and you can mention that nature of this force as attractive. So F net is attractive force. So the spare loop will move towards that wire here, right? So these are some problems based on it, and still some more problems are there based on this force acting force between the current carrying wires. And those problems I will explain in our next class, right? So until this models, this weekend syllabus will be there until this this type. So then based on the force, as I am saying, there will be another models will be there, and I will explain those models in our next class, right? So just what we discussed here is parallel and perpendicular. The force between the parallel conductors and perpendicular conductors I discussed there. So based on that, you may get the problems there in this weekend. So when they are inclined, it is not yet completed, or if a curved part is there, it is also not yet completed for us. So those problems are not there for this weekend. Is it clear? Right. Thank you.